Welcome to another episode of Den Excelsior. This is the live weekly podcast discussing the latest Marvel happenings across all media. But we've also been known to stray off topic from time to time. If it's superpowered, we'll discuss it here. This episode is being recorded on the evening of Friday, May 21st, 2021. My name is Dennis, and creating this outlet to talk nerdy was pretty much for the preservation of my marriage. As always, I'm joined by a distinguished nerd panel. First up, I think I mentioned this before, but fun fact, he's been collecting issues of Amazing Spider-Man that predate him nearly 30 years. It's Frank.
Wow, I haven't heard that intro in a while. That's awesome.
Yeah, see, I'm like recycling. That was like from I don't know, like 5 months ago.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, right?
And it is true. I do collect Spider-Man issues, old ones.
Yeah.
Did my cat just come in? Okay, never mind.
I'm taking us back. We're doing a little time travel here.
Yeah.
And then he's our millennial with an insatiable craving for spoilers and rumors. It's Ricky. And he's muted.
And he's muted. Thank you. You're welcome, guys.
Give me them spoilers.
Yes, exactly. I promise to not reuse those intros all the time, but I like them. I put a lot of work into writing them the first time.
Someone didn't do their homework today.
No, yeah, sure. It's just I did all the other stuff that was required. Obviously, whenever we can, we try to have a special guest. We especially like to have them come when we have something new to talk about. And so today we do have something new. So we got our special guest who hosts the Uncommon Comedy Podcast on YouTube and everywhere else you can find podcasts, I'm pretty sure. And he has a special out now at drybarcomedy.com. It's Brian Apprille.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Brian?
I'm all set and ready to talk about Jurassic Park. I'm ready to
talk about it. I love it. I love Jurassic Park.
I mean, in fairness, for the promo material, I was using your picture with the Death Star, so
I saw that. It was good.
Yeah, I just decided for fun to start reusing, old stuff. And you visited us last when we were doing the Mandalorian podcast back in December. And hello, everyone out there who's watching. We'll get to you guys in a few minutes, but let's have a moment to chat with Brian. Brian, this is your first time on our Marvel show.
It is.
I appreciate it. You're a stand-up comic.
Yes, I am.
That's all you got to do right now is just say yes or no to yes or no to these things. Yeah.
Did you want him to stand up, or what was
no? Yeah, I'd like to see your shirt. I'd like to know what it says. Although, no, don't do that.
I mean, I thought Brian was here to talk about the effects of COVID on stand-up comedy. Real in-depth conversation.
We can do that too. Okay. But the last time you were on, you were on We Have Spoken, the Mandalorian podcast, as a stand-up comic, but also as a Star Wars fan. Yes. So you were there to talk about the Bill Burr episode of the show, of the season 2. And that was really fun because you had all that insight. And that's kind of why we thought it'd be fun to bring you back for Marvel's M.O.D.O.K, which we'll be talking about later today, because that's, another stand-up comic is running that show. But I want to know, what does Marvel mean to you? Because we asked you what Star Wars meant to you last time.
Marvel is a strange duck for me. I love Marvel. Growing up, I used to read a lot of the comics, Fantastic Four, and huge Hulk fan. I've always been a Hulk. Not so much the Avengers. I kind of got into that a little bit, but it's just been this whole incredible universe with so many. I mean, there's so many great characters, and Thor and Ant-Man and just Iron Man, and just I'm not a super nerd into it. I kind of just go with what they put in front of me. I don't do a lot of research and going into the backstory, but it's just been something that's been just a big part of my life growing up and being around all, like I said, mostly the comics growing up, and then more for, some of the earlier movies with Marvel, and then some of the TV, just some of the TV stuff. So it's been, it's just another big part of the world. How do you grow up in this day and age and not have Marvel hitting you square in the face somewhere?
What's your I was gonna say, what's your favorite MCU movie or show?
I kind of like Iron Man. I think the original Iron Man one was just classic. It was just so well done, and especially the first half of that movie, the way they just developed everything and brought it in, and I just thought it was a great way to kind of launch all of that.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm a mark for the Hulk. I love the Hulk, and I'm dying for the day they actually put out a good Incredible Hulk movie.
They already did that with Ang Lee's movie, right?
I was gonna say, you didn't like the one with Daredevil and Thor?
I don't know. I just no. I'm very much. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for.
Those are two different movies. I was getting confused for a second. I was like,
yeah,
Daredevil and Thor are not in the same movie.
No, not in the same one. No.
Okay.
You didn't watch the director's cut?
What is it? Return of the Incredible Hulk, and then Trial.
He's talking about with Bill Bixby.
Yeah, with Bill Bixby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't it wild that I feel I don't say when I was a kid, I would assume when you guys are younger, like say when someone says, "Oh, I like Marvel because of the movies," like that wasn't kind of like it's kind of a cop out answer.
Yeah.
But we're like 20 years, deep into quality Marvel movie content. So, I feel like that type of gateway experience now is legitimate, for a lot of people.
And they're pumping them out. I mean, they come out all the time. So it's just that they have such a back catalog now of all these incredible movies that you can go through and watch. So
it's almost 25 years if you want to go with Blade, right? If you want to go, I would.
Do we want to go there?
That's where my milestone is. Like that's my cutoff. Pre-Blade is rough. Pre-Blade world, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Roger Corman, Fantastic Four.
No. That's already bad. That's
how I do music too. Pre-Blade and
pre-Blade,
post-Blade.
Well, listen, we have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and I just want to let me get the official stuff out of the way so that we can start engaging more with our fans and chat more about whatever we want. So let me just say we've got a fun show planned. We're dying to talk about Marvel's M.O.D.O.K, but before we dive into that, we've got some news and rumors to discuss. And a brief chat on a nerd topic of our choosing. We kind of crafted a question earlier today. As a reminder, this is also a chance for you, the audience, to pick our brains with any Marvel trivia or points of confusion that you may have. We'll be checking the comments throughout the show. So
it felt like you were looking right at me when you said
I know, because I'm trying really hard. So, like Itsy Pry, we can see you right there. Hello, and welcome to us. Welcome to our show. And for those of you that can't get enough of us, you can visit patreon.com/DenXmedia immediately after this broadcast ends for our live post show, The Soapbox, where we wind down and talk about stuff we didn't get to in like the first 1.5 hours of this show.
And that's where you'll definitely get enough of us. Actually,
did you say it's a hot tub show? Because I did not fill up the tub.
It is. Yeah. And for 10 subs, we all write names on body parts, and so we'll get the robes out. We'll be good.
Yeah.
I got the
you
inflatables.
Making promises. Yeah. I cannot.
15, we bust out the peanut butter. So
I don't think you guys understand how hard it is for a person in a wheelchair to just get in a tub. But I'll try for you guys. I'll try.
All right.
That's for 25 subs.
Yeah, that's for 25 subs.
You're spoiling M.O.D.O.K right now.
You're ruining it.
What we're doing?
Dick Van Patten's pissed.
Oh man, see, look, now this person will stop to that. See what you're doing.
I got the markers.
Making promises we can't keep. Right.
That's
right. So before we move on to the news, is there anything else going on? How's your weeks going on, guys? Anything you want to chat about? Anything special?
Are we allowed to chat about stuff that's not Marvel?
You always do, so I'm not going to stop you now.
This is your
That's fair.
5-minute non-Marvel talk start
yeah,
now.
yeah. This is our moment for our people who are tuning in to get to know you, Frank.
This
Now I
is where
don't
Frank
wanna talk
rants
about
about work.
Now I want, yeah. Damn kids don't have any respect for us elders.
I tell you, they got no respect at all. I tell you, those kids.
Holy shit, that's good. Damn, you threw me off now. Now I don't know what I was going to talk about. Oh, you know what? The Highlander. I watched The Highlander recently with my wife. She hadn't seen it
Oh,
before.
man.
Wait, do you see they're doing a remake?
I
With
did.
Henry
I
Cavill?
did. So that's
They're always
crazy
doing a
that they
remake.
announced that the week after we watched it. That's insane.
Meant to
That's
be.
insane to me. It was meant to be, totally.
Who's in the new one?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill's the only one confirmed that I saw. Did you see anyone else? Did they confirm anyone else?
Nope.
So will you watch another Spider-Man movie so they can make more of those?
Yeah, hopefully.
There's already one coming out this year.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
We want more.
No, there will be more. I
It's not
promise
soon.
there will be more.
I mean, if
I've
you
been
count
watching
Venom,
crazy.
right?
No, we don't.
No.
We never do. You bring this up all the time. We
Every
don't count
time.
Venom, Ricky.
And
We
Zac
don't.
Efron is not going to play Venom like for the last
it's
time.
not. Yeah, no more
You
fan
actually did
casting
pretty good
Zac
last time.
Efron.
Zac Efron is not going to play
Stop it.
everything.
Ricky, anything cool in your week? Because I think we just skipped over
Uh,
Frank because Frank got distracted by the Dangerfield, and
I want to
too
talk. Oh, it was good. It was a good Dangerfield.
Well, thank you. I try. I tell you, these kids these days.
Super good.
I don't think I've ever seen a Rodney Dangerfield movie.
What?
I know the face. I know the voice.
You've never seen Caddyshack?
Mm-mm. I like
No.
Tron, which is surprising because I've met Cindy Morgan many
Yeah,
times,
that's Rodney
Rodney
Dangerfield's
Dangerfield.
finest work.
And
Tron.
Tron, yeah.
and like her boots is split from the Caddyshack side,
He
and then there's
said
the Tron side.
He said Tron.
I can't even think of a quote from Tron to put Dangerfield in there. But
Oh man!
like putting, you might as well have just said, "Who framed Roger Rabbit?" At that point.
So, the light bikes give me no respect.
I tell you,
Frank-
this arcade is crazy. These kids.
Frank Itzy said the greatness of Spider-Man ended with Tobey Maguire. What
I
is your
agree.
hot take on that?
100%. Itzy's spouting a bunch of truth right now, and that is true. Like every other Spider-Man has had diminishing returns for me since Tobey Maguire, and I'm even counting Spider-Man 3, which was amazing.
And are you counting Into the Spider-Verse?
Shit, that was really good, but
Don't be racist, Frank.
the only
Don't be racist,
caveat,
Frank. Don't be racist.
the only caveat there is that it's a cartoon, and like
No, that is not
Wow.
a caveat.
I gotta be
That's
cartoonist.
mediaist.
You gotta be
Oh,
cartoonist because
This
they
is
can do
literally
a lot.
Den X Media.
This
We
is the
celebrate
plot of
all
Roger Rabbit.
media.
They could do whatever they want in the cartoon world. We've seen it. I saw it. I was watching the Twilight Zone. It was on the Twilight Zone. The Magpie says,
No more
"I can do
tunes.
anything in cartoon world."
You're gonna give him the dip.
Yeah.
That's right.
Brian,
So how do
got any-
how do you guys feel about that? Really though, with the constant rebooting of Spider-Man and franchises like that. And
Yeah. I'd like to see Uncle Ben die like 6 more times. I think that'd be really good.
Spider-Verse is kind of its own beast because it's Spider-Man, but it's a different character, right?
Spider-Verse is Spider-Men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Spider-Girls.
You know, and
That's the less successful Spice Girls cover
Oh,
band, the Spider Girls.
The Spider-Girls. I like
If you want to be
Spider-
my spider,
welcome
Gotta
Kelly
get with my
Monster to
friend.
our show.
They didn't sell merch.
Yeah.
Yes. Brian,
Yes.
you got anything else? You got anything cool going on this week for you, or anything Marvel, anything, whatever? You want.
Well, I actually just kind of found out today that I'm going to be filming a television pilot in August. So it's one of those things where it's like you are excited and you want to announce it, but you don't want to announce it because you want to announce it because it's kind of a big deal, but you don't want to announce it in case they don't pick it up and you fail. So,
All right.
but I'm putting myself out there because we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to be great. And
Nice.
That's cool.
yeah, so I'm excited
I mean,
about that.
Can you announce something by proxy, like that's kind of related to it, but not it? That way, you get the hype, but you don't get all of the,
Exactly.
The
If there
expectation.
was a new Spider-Verse television show, there's a
Yep.
pilot for it, then no, I'm not doing
and six Uncle Bens get killed
Yeah.
immediately.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm very excited for it. We don't have to talk any more about it because I don't know you don't want to violate any NDAs or anything like that. But
yeah, it's
if
exciting.
if something happens to take off from that, I'm going to be really happy that we're going to have your name all over this episode.
Yeah, we will
It's just
happily
gonna
ride
be
your coattails.
everywhere.
That's right.
And people will go back to see that time he was really, really dumb enough to show up on these guys' podcasts and
When he
talk
was
about
slumming it.
That's
talk
right.
about Marvel.
Who would you
Hey,
guys cast as Uncle Ben? I know Ricky would cast Zac Efron as Uncle Ben.
We're doing this
in
now.
the-
We're
You want like
fan-casting Uncle
who's the
Ben.
modern day Uncle Ben?
yeah, Zac Efron, right?
no, you got to go. You got to go Rodney Dangerfield, even though he's dead.
Right.
Mm.
We can. We'll just use that technology they use in Star Wars and recreate. And,
Animatronic.
Who would be his body double?
Who's the body
I gotta,
double?
I gotta imagine
Efron's got
somebody that we enjoyed in our youth is probably old enough to be Uncle Ben now. So like, I just got to really think about that. Like, is the dad from Teen Wolf dead?
Oh man,
Christian Slater?
He'd be pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Right?
he'd be
The
great.
dad from
Yeah.
Teen Wolf? Yeah.
We can get Dick
Probably.
Van Patten. Is he alive?
He
Dick
might
Van
be
Patten.
too old.
Well, he was old. He was old
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
Chevy
he was old
Chase.
then. You got to be careful. No, he's way too old. And no.
I mean, we're getting
Chevy
close to
Chase.
like Ricky Schroeder age. You know. We get,
Okay.
There you go. There you
Ricky
go.
Schroeder. There you go.
Ricky
You
Schroeder,
casted it.
Silver
Ricky Schroeder,
Spoon.
Uncle Ben. All right, we're gonna go in a lot of weird tangents. So how about we bring it in a little bit? Let's let Ricky show us the news he's prepared, and Brian, you're welcome to react to it, or just sit there politely and drink your drink until we're done with this whole awkward segment of the show.
That's great that you're letting him react to it. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
We don't let just anyone do
I just
that.
gotta- yeah,
we
I was
do.
told
We
I gotta
do.
like just focus. And
Or
just,
just blank
We
face.
do. I just often forget to tell people that they're allowed to do it. There
News
you go.
time. Okay. We had a lot of non-Marvel news this week.
I think we had a lot of Marvel news too. I
Well,
thought we did.
We'll kick it off with the Marvel news.
Okay, do it.
Let's do this thing. We got Old Man Star-Lord, Old Man Hawkeye, and Grey Widow podcast coming down the pipe from
Three separate scripted live podcasts from Marvel.
Oh, man, we're getting some competition now from the big boys.
I know, right? Yeah, because I was planning, like, after Loki was over, I was just gonna sit here and read comics with you guys, like, out loud, and so this is really awkward.
Damn it.
I'm waiting for the Old Man River podcast.
right. It's like the Old Man universe.
Brian, are you even familiar with the Old Man universe?
I am not.
So, do you know the movie Logan? Where
Yes.
that movie is based on a comic called Old Man Logan, in which Logan is super old and the world is way different than it used
And a
to
man.
be.
And
And
man.
so, well, he never stopped being a man except for that one what if. But in the podcast universe, they've decided to spin off of that weird alternate future timeline and just do their own takes on what we were trying to do is fan cast Uncle Ben. They're taking famous actors from our youth and they're casting them as old versions
You want me to read them off?
characters.
Yep.
I think you should, and I think Brian will get a
Zac
kick out of it.
Efron,
All right.
The Weeknd.
So
List the actor and the character they're playing.
I'll go from left to right. So left, Hawkeye, Clint Barton, Stephen Lang.
Do you know who Stephen Lang is?
Not by name.
He's the old guy who's the bad guy in Avatar,
Oh, okay.
the Marine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, the blue people. The blue people.
no, the Space Marine.
I was thinking of like Zhao or like
Oh,
Fire Lord
sorry.
Ozai. Or
Yeah,
something.
the actual movie just called Avatar. Yes,
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, not the last
The
name.
guy
No
that
Airbender.
campaigned really hard a few years ago to play Cable, and then he got shut down because they put Josh Brolin in instead.
That's what
But
happened.
Stephen Lang really wanted to be Cable.
Mm.
Next up, Susan Sarandon as, I guess, Grey Widow.
Yep.
I can see that. That's good.
That's related to the Brown Widow, as seen in Venture Brothers.
Who else? Chris Elliott as Rocket. He's not in the picture.
Wait,
No, he's not.
you mean Chris Elliott from
Yes.
Scary Movie?
Cabin Boy and-
Cabin
yeah.
Boy? Okay.
And Schitt's Creek.
What
also.
was his
More
TV
notable.
show back in?
Oh, I'm trying to remember that. There was.
Oh,
Dennis,
I
you would
loved
know, right?
it. I loved it, and I
Yeah.
cannot remember it right now. I used to watch it religiously, and this sucks. But yeah, Chris Elliott is going to be playing Rocket Raccoon.
I heard some of it, and
Not a
it
fan.
sounds like it sounds like Chris Elliott.
It sounds like
I
Chris
mean, I
Elliott.
don't know what Rocket sounds like. I guess
You got to
aside from
remember
Bradley Cooper.
they're not trying to do the movie versions of the characters, right? They're trying to do the comic book versions interpreted by old celebrities. You know what I mean? So like, you got to afford some.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure his notes are just sound like an old raccoon, so it's a lot to work off.
We're in some danger areas right now.
An old sassy raccoon.
He's just rustling through like Fritos bags.
Yeah.
That's his dialogue.
and then nice.
Damn it! Why are you knocking down trash cans, Chris Elliott?
Because he's a trash panda. That's why. That's gonna play great for the audio version.
Sorry about that.
This is why we can't sell this podcast.
This is why Disney doesn't like us.
That's right.
We didn't say any of those things. You guys are shooting us in the foot before we even go.
Wait, we got
This
one
is
more.
why we're gonna get kicked off of Twitch.
Disney, we can change.
No.
Timothy Busfield as Star-Lord?
Oh, that hurt my soul.
I don't know who that is.
Timothy Busfield from Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh.
Who is he in Revenge of the Nerds?
I heard that movie doesn't age well.
He's the redheaded one at the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
He's in my so-called life or something like that, or 30-something. And so, Timothy Busfield, you would recognize him if you've seen him.
The West Wing also.
Yeah, he is in the West Wing. Yeah, you're right.
I think he should be Curtis Armstrong. If you're going to take anyone from Revenge of the Nerds, Booger.
I love Curtis Armstrong.
Yeah, he's great.
He's funny in what was it? The Terrible Thunder Lizards, right? Isn't he one of the cavemen?
He would make a great Rocket, honestly.
He would be great.
They
should just recast the Revenge of the Nerd characters as Marvel Universe characters.
There you go.
Yes. Excellent.
One special, one night only.
That's debuting Ogre.
Oh
Sorry.
man,
Drax,
he'd be Drax,
Drax
or Thor.
We're assuming these characters are alive in that universe. I don't know who's
or in our universe, alive in our universe.
Yeah.
Yes, or these actors are. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny as you mentioned that. Like, Dave Bautista came out like I think it was like 2 weeks ago. He said, "I'm like done playing Drax. Like I'm 50. I can't keep this shape up."
Oh man,
Is that why he made crappy Army of the Dead?
Well, they threw money at that problem. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm sorry, I'm a little bitter. I watched that today.
I was gonna say you didn't like it, right?
I did not like it. We can talk about that later on the soapbox. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's move on. What else you got, Ricky?
What about all our ravenous fans that want to hear about it?
They can pay for the soapbox.
This is why Disney doesn't like us.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, Disney's used to overcharging their fans.
That's
I
true.
would prefer
Disney mastered that.
I would prefer later when I'm editing the show that I don't have to edit that many. This is why Disney doesn't like us out of the show.
Or just make that a whole highlight. It's just every clip of that.
Oh man!
Reasons
like a
why we won't
7-minute
get a
clip.
check from Disney.
Zac Efron.
Oh, no.
Zac Efron is top of the
It's
list.
the clip they're gonna play in court.
Give us some more news, quick, Ricky.
We got a Nano Infinity Gauntlet coming out. This little Iron Man role play item comes with removable gems,
and those gems totally fit down your throat without causing any problems at all.
Yeah,
Perfect.
So if you ever
Those
wanted
have
an
to have
Iron
a
Man
token, yeah.
Stranger, then buy this glove.
That
I was going to say that they do
the strangers are offhand, right? I mean, Frank's left-handed, but
yeah, it would be a stranger for me. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I would be concerned if when I pulled the fist out, like some of the stones were missing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like that those are removable. That's just too dangerous. Like, what are you going to do with them? Like, why do they need to be removable?
Because they're actually Jolly Ranchers. Was it Jolly Ranchers? They're just Jolly Rancher candy, and then you can just fill them in and just do whatever color coordination you want.
Lex Luthor comes over and shoves them in your mouth.
Should we cut and do a retake of that? Because
you don't think Disney would like that joke?
No. I'm just saying. Second take for Brian. Jolly Ranchers.
All All right, Jolly Ranchers, take 2.
I'm kidding.
And focus and
Scene.
Lego announces a Spider-Man Daily Bugle. This is the biggest Lego Marvel set to date, and this thing's pretty badass. It's like 3 feet tall,
And it's a giant rectangle.
well, that's the Daily Bugle building from the comics. Am I right, Frank, or no?
That's any building from
That's
anywhere.
any
anywhere.
building.
Like it's
I
not-
could
I could put Roxxon on there, and it would be the Roxxon building. From
Yes.
I thought-
the comics.
They literally are selling a giant rectangle set.
It comes as 25. I'm a big Lego person.
It's the
Lego-
figurines, though. It's the figurines
and
you
you-
want.
Are you a
Okay.
big Lego person because you like to make cool things, or you just like to make rectangles?
You're being real shapesist right now.
By the way, this is why Disney won't pay us.
This is
Because-
$300, by the way.
Because
mind you.
I'm shooting them in the foot at their product. $300
wow.
to
For-
build a rectangle with a sign at the top.
That's
All
hard
right,
to do.
well, we're gonna.
They just
We're
need to
gonna
make
get-
that a Nakatomi Plaza. That's what that needs to be. It's just
Yes.
Nakatomi Plaza, Die
Oh,
Hard
man.
Legos. That's all that is.
They own
mean-
that now, I think, don't they?
Do
That
they
would
really?
be fantastic.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
they own Fox,
they,
right?
They own Die Hard. Yeah, they own Die Hard.
Well, speaking of overly priced plastic, here's Dennis's all-consuming addiction, or the Marvel Legend bit of the news.
Yeah. Also, not $300 for a giant freaking rectangle.
Hey, it
I'm
has
sure all
Spider-Man
of the
in there.
figures announced these past 2 weeks will add up to $300.
Nope,
That's
they will not.
You know
$2.99.
that Lego kit is all just the gray rectangle.
I
box.
know, it's
That's it.
just
Like
gray
there's nothing else.
rectangle.
There's no other. There's no flat ones.
There's red ones for the fire escape and for the Daily Bugle, and that's it. That's it.
That'd be cool if it
It's-
just came out in one square, like just one
I mean,
square. You don't even
speaking
have
as a
to
Lego expert, you want those gray
The-
pieces to build other sets. So.
It's
The
a
taxi-
3-foot Lego.
The taxi cab comes pre-assembled because they're like, you don't want to build that. That's too
Yeah.
intricate. Just
Screw
build
it.
the rectangle. Yes, Ian, it does have Spider
See?
Ham.
That's
We're
what I'm
aware.
saying.
We get it. Like Frank already said, he knows why you guys really buy it. It's okay.
I buy it for the squares. I'm a big square aficionado. Like,
But yeah, to continue the
Expensive plastic.
how much was the Ninja Turtles NECA giant rectangle cityscape? That is not a giant rectangle. And 2, it was $150. So half of what the Lego one was. And far more intricate in detail.
Did you consider buying 2 of them?
and the Turtles one
No.
didn't have Spider Ham.
No, but the Turtles one came with 3 Ninja Turtles that I sold for $300. So I didn't pay anything for the thing.
Dang.
I broke even. Yeah. Anyways, Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends, the Infinity
Who's this
Saga.
guy?
You know who this guy is, damn it. It's they're doing a do-over on Infinity War Captain America because the figure they made like 3 years ago was a piece of crap. And like it didn't even look like Chris Evans at all. It was really
Like,
bad.
These suckers
This
will
one-
pay for it twice.
And the worst part was like everybody knows in that scene right before he's gonna go fight, the aliens and stuff, and after Black Panther said somebody get this guy a shield, they get him 2 shields, right? Man, the original toy came with 1 shield, and it's like it was just offensive. So they did a do-over. They wanted to make him look more screen accurate. He actually comes with 2 heads, so he has the action head, and then he has like a more calm head there. And then he's got 2 shields, and there you go.
2
And
shields.
that's
But
and
he
that's a
said
Walmart-
one. He said
Walmart-
one. Get
Yeah,
this
but-
man a shield.
But
They
he's
got
got,
That's
Black
fair.
Panther is that kind of a host.
They don't listen.
He's that kind of host, or they just don't listen to the king. Yes.
That's,
But that's a Walmart exclusive that went up for sale today, and it comes out in September. The whole set of Infinity Sagas, which is basically a do-over or basically a chance for all Lego and Hasbro and all the different companies that make merch to milk the movies a second round over now that they're all done. So there you go. There's a Searcher figure that was announced on Monday that is from Thor Ragnarok, which was what, 2017?
2017, right on the
Yeah.
nose.
This is a bigger figure, though, right? This is a
He's 13 inches tall.
And it's made entirely out of gummy worm.
Yes,
Doesn't it
exactly.
look like that?
Delicious.
And Jolly Rogers.
Jelly, yeah.
Don't
Jelly
leave
Roger.
them in your car.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that one.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the lesson is always I'm stupid, and I'm totally fine with that. So as long as we're all good with that.
It's more fun when you say it like Homer Simpson, though.
Oh, the lesson is always I'm stupid.
There you go.
The first step towards failure is trying. Never try.
And here is another one that they I think they revealed today, right? Yeah. This
perfect.
is
Whiplash.
the Infinity Saga 2-pack of Obadiah Stane in his suit, and then Obadiah Stane's giant ghetto ironmonger suit.
Ghetto man.
It's the ghetto version of Iron Man. Come on, you know.
He looks like Billy Joel.
That's
he does look like Billy Joel.
The previous one, he's like Piano Man. You know, he's good.
Yeah.
Why does he have a douche? Why is he holding a douche in his hand? I don't understand.
Oh, man.
Is that Obadiah GYN?
Oh man, move on now, Ricky. Go.
That's cool. That bullet effect's pretty cool. I'll give it that.
It's the same effect they've been selling for every Iron Man figure ever.
No, the bullets spilling out.
Oh, the bullets coming out. That's the same effect they've been selling for every War Machine figure ever.
Did he figure out the icing problem?
Oh my God.
The icing problem.
I don't think he did.
And yes, Itzy, you are correct. That is the antagonist from the first Iron Man movie. Obadiah Stane, so basically the Infinity Saga that is their big marketing campaign right now while they're waiting for actual movies to come out, is they're selling merch from any movie from the past 20 years. Or sorry, past 13 years, whatever. So yeah, Iron Man 1 is fair game.
The Star Wars thing. They're just kind of dipping back into moments.
Yeah, for the most part, they're trying to sell figures that they never did or that they want to do a do-over. So in the 13 years, they actually never made a scaled Obadiah figure or Ironmonger. They have made a really small Ironmonger figure that just looks really weird standing next to like an Iron Man that's the same size.
But I mean, all companies do this. Like Ricky, you might be this might be a little before your time, but like Transformers, you guys remember the original Transformers, and I had basically every figure, and then the movie came out and they killed off like 90% of the characters and introduced like 130 more. So they just do that too, just so that you bought them all, buy all these new ones.
Yeah, and then when you have bought all of those, we're going to resell the old ones, but with new decos.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like 1 million Optimus Primes that have been sold.
About to say, you know who doesn't do that? Lego. All the pieces work the same.
Lego does that.
They all fit.
The time. I don't know what you mean by this.
The system.
They just package all the same pieces.
We're already doing new comics for the week.
Yeah,
this is where we just show you guys any new comics that were released on Wednesday in the different media.
Yep.
Frank, any ones that are of interest to you or Brian?
Definitely gonna jump on Shang-Chi. That's probably a good starting point. They're probably gonna make it like kind of fit with the Marvel universe. So I'm pretty excited about that actually. Daredevil 30 is awesome because that cover is really cool. It has like Elektra in a Daredevil costume. I don't even know what the story is, but like I saw it in the shop and I'm like, holy shit, I need to see what that's all about.
That's how they get you.
Yep.
That's how they do it.
They also have a Nightwing comic. I know not listed here, but I'm pretty interested in getting back into that. So they're starting to get me.
Yeah. And then here's the trade paperbacks. These are the ones that I think these are fun because like for people that like Brian that don't have time to go and read individual comics every week, these are something, that they pre-package so that you have a whole collection available to.
That Robbie Reyes one is interesting.
Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider is a pretty interesting one because he drove a muscle car instead of a motorcycle. And he's of Latin descent.
That's cool that there's a Axe of Vengeance. I'm hoping that the MCU finally destroys that storyline and puts it in movie form and ruins it completely. That'd be great.
This guy is our resident MCU hater, even though he loves watching every single one of them.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Someone's got to do it.
And then Marvel Unlimited for the digital people who are okay waiting 4 months for the stuff to come out. This is what just came out today. Anything you're going to go read, Frank?
Nah, anything that I wanted to read, I've already read.
Yeah.
Like so 6 months ago. Like 6 months ago.
No, it's 4 months now delay.
Oh,
is it 4 months?
They changed it to 4. It's no longer 6-month delay.
Oh, that's fantastic. Then.
I forgot I added this, but I guess while we're on it, Frank, your
Hey,
boy's getting a
August.
reboot.
Yeah. He just had a one shot that came out like 2 weeks ago. And
Brian, what is the proper way to pronounce this guy's name?
Well, I'm from Boston, so Hawk. Wicked. It's Hawk, kid. That's how I do it. Actually, if I would sit there and I'd talk to Morgan Freeman, he would say it's Hawk. I would still say that in the Boston accent. It's one of those things.
So tell us your favorite things about the new Hawk, Frank.
I don't know. I haven't even read it. I bought it.
It's not out yet, is it? Oh, it is out.
The one shot came out a couple weeks ago,
okay.
and I guess that's leading into the.
But number one's this summer, I believe. Yeah,
August 21st, I think.
August is still the summer.
Is it still the summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Depends on your school district.
September is the beginning of fall.
Oh man, I've been out of touch.
20th, isn't it?
I was born in September, so it's just
I've been out of touch.
So do you play Earth, Wind, and Fire September? Is that your jam? For your birthday?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how I got in the mood for this show tonight.
Just listen. By the way,
on loop for 4 hours.
I don't blame you. Have you totally off topic, but we mentioned September. Have you heard the mashup between Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train and Earth, Wind, and Fire's September? It is amazing.
I think I have on TikTok.
It's DJ Cumberbund is the guy on YouTube, and it's called, just Google Earth, Wind, and Ozzy, and it will change your life forever.
That's a disrespect to Fire.
Oh. Zing, Ricky, zing. What else we got? We got any more news?
That's
any
the
more
news.
Wait, no, that can't be the news because you said there was other news.
We got the other news. The other news. Alternate news. We were talking about it before, but the crypto movie, Crypto the Superdog of
you don't
DC
have any slides for this. I see.
I didn't make slides for these.
Okay.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is going to be voicing Crypto the Superdog in that movie.
I mean, do you really have a preference? Is there really that's not my hashtag, not my Crypto the Superdog, or what?
Not my crypto.
Yeah.
I mean,
not my chair, not my problem. That's what I say.
They should have got Hulk Hogan instead. That would have been a much better wrestler. Let me tell you something, brother. What you gonna do?
Give me all the WWE superstars. Bring back Macho Man somehow.
Ooh,
I want that crypto.
Yeah, you can get that crypto online. Yeah, no Doge, no Bitcoin. It's all about crypto. Yeah.
Ricky, if you're gonna set him up, you got to let him do it. You got to let him do it.
Yeah.
You can't interrupt him while he's doing it, Ricky.
That's all right. He doesn't know. I'm like a top. You wind me up and off I go.
This Earth, Wind, and Ozzy is pretty good. I'm listening to it.
Whole other world.
Listening back to that instead of participating in our podcast. Yes.
I like it.
Excellent.
I didn't participate. He asked us to listen to this.
This book is tremendous, guys, by the way. I've been reading
I don't think he meant to do it right now.
Well, he didn't say not to do it right now.
I'm pretty sure half our viewers also went to go listen to it instead of do this.
Well, they're in for a treat then.
Okay.
It will change your life.
Ricky, what other non-Marvel news you got?
Well, we also got, they're doing a Batman cartoon show spearheaded by animated series with Bruce Timm. J.J. Abrams.
It's people like you that make it hard for people like me that just want to watch some animated series. It's not a cartoon show.
It's called hentai. So.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that for $1.
The cool thing about the animated series is because you really undersold that is they got Bruce Timm to return. Bruce Timm is the guy who created the original Batman the Animated Series and Superman and Justice League and Batman Beyond. Yes, I know you. I could tell you didn't know that by the way you just so lackluster said, "Oh, it's like Bruce Timm and J.J. Abrams and
whatever."
I wonder how big of a check they signed for that.
That's what I'm saying. The reason I wanted that included in the news is because I think the biggest problem with the DC universe in movies has been that they haven't just tapped that guy to help, even as creative consultant. That guy sold me on those stories better than any comic ever did. Like, I have enjoyed everything I learned from the DC came mostly from that first, and then that sparked my interest to go read more DC stories. You know what I mean?
I've watched the Waynes die more times in the cinematic universe than I ever did in
Bruce Timm's
in
universe.
Bruce Timm's universe. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
because
have you seen? I'm sorry, go ahead.
he knew how to tell the stories without having to lean on those tropes. Yeah,
I was gonna say, who have you seen die more, Uncle Ben or the Waynes?
Wayne's
Ooh, probably the Waynes. Yeah,
by a mile. The Wayne's,
yeah, by a bunch. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
Uncle Ben died in the animated series, the
No.
'90s.
in none of the animated
Yeah,
series.
man. The
Did
Waynes
Bruce
even
Timm do
died
those
in
too?
the Joker
It's-
movie. So like,
Yeah. Well, it's because the Spider-Man animated series always skew towards a younger audience. And so like the Batman ones, like the thing with Bruce Timm is he never dumbed down any of the shows that he made, right? He made them for all ages. And that's why, adults were watching them like with younger people and stuff. And so but even then, Bruce Timm still didn't feel the need to show the Waynes die all the time.
Yeah,
Like-
kids can enjoy watching their parents get gunned down by a
Yeah.
maniac in an
Well, it's
alley.
not their parents, like it's somebody else's parents.
Yeah.
Even
I mean-
better, even better.
And they have that on Disney.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Like, that's like
Yeah.
every single Disney movie. If you watch, it's like Bambi, parents die. All sorts of.
That's true. That's true.
yeah.
Little Mermaid, where's the mom?
That's right.
Yes.
No one knows.
That's right. What is a favorite Batman villain? Out of just curiosity for you guys.
Mm.
I like me some Mr. Freeze.
The Arnold
Ah,
Schwarzenegger,
cool guy.
Mr. Freeze.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
What killed the
Chill out.
dinosaurs?
Chill out, come on, do it.
No. I like, I am quite a big fan of Mark Hamill's
That
Joker
movie's
too.
fun.
Which Alfred Molina, Mr. Freeze, do you like? The only one by Alfred Molina.
I've
did
been
Mr. Freeze?
partial to Bane. I've been having a lot of fun. That's one of the new voices I've been doing lately.
Which
Oh,
the
yeah.
one from Batman and Robin also?
No, just the from Dark Knight.
Do you watch Harley Quinn?
I haven't.
Oh,
check it out. You need to check it out because they ran with that Bane.
Oh,
They ran
really?
with it
We got
in
to
the
cut the show early. Cut the
Yeah,
show
we
early.
gotta go. We're gonna go watch Harley
We're
Quinn
gonna-
with Brian right now.
Oh, man,
Thanks for watching, guys.
What a pleasure, my friend.
We should.
Oh, Brian, you need to watch
Oh
Harley.
yeah,
Quinn.
We got to start an online
man.
petition to get Brian on season 3 of
to
Harley
get
Quinn.
Brian to watch Harley Quinn.
Dude,
Yeah.
I even have a Bane mask. That's how.
That's fantastic.
Good I am. Yeah.
Put it on.
I
Let's do
remember-
this. Rest
Put
of
it
the
on.
show.
I remember going to that like
adopted the Bane mask.
The
Well, it was like-
Roses.
All right. I'm a,
like
I'm a total
the
dork.
first the first 10 minutes of that movie they showed it like at AMC like one night only. Like I think it was like 8 months before the movie came out. And I just remember coming out of that and like, what the fuck did I just watch?
You watched Amazingness.
That's
Hello.
you look like him. You look just like him.
That looks pretty cool.
I'm Quarantine Bane. I've let myself go.
Yeah.
We're gonna need you to do the rest of the show with that jockstrap on your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
But stay in character.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Today we're chatting with an insurrectionist from the
From Gotham.
No.
No.
All right. You got any more?
Sorry.
Do we got any more
Oh.
news, or should we?
Ricky didn't say his favorite Batman villain.
Oh, you're right.
Harley
Oh,
Quinn made me like Kite Man. And there was that
Yes.
a lot. I like the zaniness of him, but there was that comic run with Kite Man like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh no.
And
we
lost him.
And it's like a series
We lost
Kites,
him.
like tied.
He's back.
Well, it's like a serious take on Kite Man and like how the kite's tied to his son who died, and that's why he chooses a kite, and it's like
Wait,
super sad and super.
He tied it to his son. Why
like
did
they
he do that?
tied his kite connection to his son on why he is the Kite Man.
To try to give him powers, like with electricity through the kite.
Yes, with like Ben Franklin style with the key.
Nice, nice.
Sea Cow Soda also endorses Brian watching Harley Quinn.
I'm
Go
in.
watch it.
I'm in.
HBO Max.
Go watch it. We're cutting.
This is
it
why
down.
HBO Max will pay us. See,
I don't.
We'll
Yeah, we
sell-
love the Snyder cut.
Yeah, what
Right.
the Snyder
Whoa,
cut is
whoa,
the
whoa,
best
whoa, 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 whoa,
second
whoa,
coming
whoa.
of Snyder.
Let's slow down here. All right, let's. Are we
I
good?
didn't,
We got anything
I
else?
didn't say my
Okay.
favorite Batman villain.
all right.
Never mind,
Oh, Frank, is it because you didn't know when we were asked earlier?
I'm
or-
a basic bitch. I just like the Riddler. That's it.
I love
there
the
we go.
Riddler.
We can go to the
Riddler's
next one.
great too.
Coming
All
soon
right,
to a
let's
theater
move
near
on.
you.
There was another kind of, it wasn't news. It was in the media cycle. I didn't like it, but I know it ties into the question of the week, so I will bring it up. It was the it was Kevin Feige is doing his world tour right now to promote Shang-Chi and get everybody hyped up on Loki and Black Widow. And so in interviews recently this week, he was once again asked about Tilda Swinton being cast as the Ancient One in the Doctor Strange movies and Avengers Endgame. And because he got, Disney got a lot of crap for that back in the day, because in the comics, the Ancient One is a Tibetan character, Asian descent, obviously, and they chose to go with a Celtic background for the character, which is whitewashing, like everybody knew it was, and so, he came out this week and said, okay, yeah, it was whitewashing. Our bad, we feel pretty bad about that. And so, that's why we got a Shang-Chi that we're doing here. Shang-Chi,
Your apologies seem more heartfelt than his. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I know. And that's the reality is we all know that, as a corporation, Disney and Marvel are using Kevin Feige as their mouthpiece. So it's not necessarily that he's sharing his specific opinions. It's he's sharing the appropriate opinions to share at that specific time, which is appropriate because as a company or a giant mega corporation, it's really hard to give a genuine apology for anything because there's so many gears turning and it's such a slow pace. You got to craft the perfect message and everything. And so, but the point is they kind of waited until they had at least a peace offering to put up in front of it and say, okay, we screwed that up back then. Here's Shang-Chi, right? And Simu Liu is going out there and saying he's really proud of this. It's an excellent movie for Asian representation, and it's something he's really happy to be a part of. So I think moving forward, they're trying to do a lot more of that. We've talked about that before on this show.
Yeah,
Marvel's trying to be better, and that's fine. But there's no getting around the fact that was a misstep. So Ricky came up with a pretty cool question that we kind of tinkered with, and here's the question. Here's the question of the week. No Mephisto. What was a misstep? Obviously, you don't have to use the one I just used, but if you have nothing else,
damn, that was gonna be mine.
What was a misstep in the MCU, and how would you correct it going forward? Why don't we start with Brian?
I was gonna say the guest.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of already spoke about it. I'm not as versed in the whole MCU as everybody. So my whole thing is I need a good Incredible Hulk movie. That's what I want. I think that's been their biggest downfall is, for me anyway, such an amazing character, and it's just they've done nothing.
What do you?
They've used him as a prop mostly. Yeah. It's an easy fix, right? I mean, but if they pay Universal the money, that's the reason they haven't done it, right? Is Universal still owns the rights to solo Hulk movies.
Oh, okay.
The crossover between Han Solo and Hulk.
Yeah. So that's why they've gotten around it by using him as a guest character in other movies.
Okay.
Do you think it's more of Universal's price is too high, or Disney feel like they don't need to cut that check?
I would imagine they feel like they don't need to cut it because I mean, they could just go, well, we'll just have him come out, Hulk smash, and
I think it's a combo because like any movie studio always has it built into their whatever agreement they have that they have X amount of years to put out something, and if they don't, the rights revert back to the owner, which is why the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie existed in the first place, right? They just had to make something to say they made something. And so as long as Disney keeps putting out Marvel movies that have the Hulk in it, I highly doubt Universal's going to go do that. You know what I mean? And Marvel's not in any interest to go help them do that.
Right.
So eventually they'll just get it back. You know what I mean? Like
That's
if
fair.
they wait, they're playing the waiting game, and they can do that.
What's Brian, what's your way of fixing it? I waited until you took a drink strategically.
Thank you.
Oh, well, no answer. All right. Well, you're busy drinking. Too busy drinking all the time.
I don't know. I just think they could do, the same way they've gone off and done, things on the other characters. Just go through the whole, backstory. They could really, there was the whole Incredible Hulk series growing up and all that sort of stuff back in the 70s or whatever. But there's all this backstory that they could go through, and they could create a much deeper character than just where he is now. I think, I would love a good origin story, like a really good origin story of the Hulk.
Does She-Hulk interest you?
Yes, we're dating. We've been dating for a while now, and it's pretty.
He said before the interview we weren't going to talk about that.
Did your wife know before this, or are we breaking this news now?
This is breaking news. If you want to play that breaking news.
Oh my goodness!
Again.
Got it.
Let's just end. Right, Brian was dating She-Hulk. I don't know if
I agree with you. Dennis had brought up before. We brought up on another show that having Hulk be like the Gray Hulk, the leg breaker out of Vegas, would be a cool and interesting little kind of twist on the character that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I just want something. I don't know. I said that there's room for it. It's just someone needs to put together a good script, and I would love a great origin story. I think that would be fantastic.
Or at least a story that's not tied to his romantic relationship with the Black Widow would be nice too.
That monster.
Yes. Ricky, what do you got?
Oh man. Shoot.
Frank, what do you got?
Oh man. Shoot. I think the biggest misstep is not having Mephisto in anything, and I think they could fix this.
Easy course correction, right?
Yeah, they could just put him in every single thing from now on. And go back and put him in just George Lucas him into everything. No, I think one of the biggest missteps is not giving me everything that I want right at the very second that I want it. I think I think they could fix that really easily by
just calling you right before the movie.
Just call me and ask me what I want, and I'll tell them. I'll tell them what they need to put in.
That sounds like a true fan.
Yep.
Calsoda says Marvel Zombies starring the Hulk. That would be obviously
that'd be really cool.
A fun story. I think we will see that in August on Disney Plus. Actually, it's called What If.
I got mine. I think they could, especially I think in the more recent years, it's gotten a little bit more muddy in terms of like the timelines, and we talked about this previously, but like if the Falcon is fighting downtown in downtown New York, why is Spider-Man not there? They work so hard to building this connected universe so that as you start getting more and more players involved, that question I just feel like becomes more and more legitimate. And obviously the answer is contracts and money, and you got to pay these big name stars to pop up. But I would wish they would find a way to work around it, or even, story-wise kind of mentioned offhand, or give a nugget on why that character isn't there,
Makes sense.
Because
did Spider-Man say he had diarrhea earlier? And they're like, yeah, that's why he's not here today.
I think honestly, like a lot of that problem was not just contracts and budget and stuff. I think it had to do with ownership, right? And like there was a lot of stuff owned by Fox
for that specific one. Yes, yeah, totally.
And like I said, Sony still owns the Spider-Man universe, and then awkwardly you got Universal owning the Hulk. But now that they have a pretty good partnership with Sony, and they've completely just absorbed Fox, I think you're going to see this get better. I don't think this is going to get to the point where you want a definite GPS on Spider-Man at all times to know why he's not saving somebody in New York. But yeah, I agree with you. I think mine's similar in that I just feel like it's already kind of being fixed, but I was really jazzed for the Netflix shows when they first came out, because we were promised a shared universe with the movies, and I always felt like the shit rolls downhill because the shows got to reference the movies like really loosely, but then nothing that happened in the shows could ever be relevant to anything going on in the movies. And the longer you watch them, the more you realize Daredevil is just living in his own magical New York that Spider-Man does not live in, clearly, and the Avengers do not live in. We're never going to see Avengers Tower. We're just not going to see that universe, and so that was a real bummer. So I've been really happy with this year because, like it or not, Scarlet Witch, her WandaVision show matters to the larger picture. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier matters to the big picture and vice versa. You know what I mean? So I'm excited that that's where we're moving now. And it's not to say that I need every show to do that, but it's nice to know that when they tell you this show is going to do that, you can count on them actually doing that. With that said, we're about to talk about a show that they basically made it very clear this is not that, and you need to be okay with that.
Wait, I thought we weren't talking about WandaVision.
No, we're going to talk about. I think we're going to talk about Marvel's M.O.D.O.K now. Is it time, Ricky?
It's time. Like
I don't think it's time.
I need a second to find the button.
I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to do a nice segue in there, but you weren't feeling me. You didn't know where I was going.
It wasn't time. It wasn't time yet.
So yeah, a lot of people were actually quite surprised. They did not know that there was a new Marvel show that came out today. Like I've been letting people know all week, and they're like, "What? I've never even heard about that." And I think part of it is because it's an animated show that's on Hulu. Another part of that is because it doesn't actually take place in the MCU, so they're not really marketing it like as you need to go watch this to be, informed on what happens next in the MCU. It's just a fun animated show highlighting a really zany, quirky character that exists in Marvel Comics, and they decided to make it into a Marvel's really big first attempt at a comedy. And so I'm happy that it exists because I just want to see Marvel trying always to do new genre, new types of storytelling. And so this is what it is. And so Marvel's M.O.D.O.K is a show that's actually created by Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom. And it actually is produced by Marvel Studios, but only because when they folded everything into Marvel Studios, this was the last carryover of old shows that were already in development that they decided to move forward with. So it started out not being developed by Marvel Studios, but it did end up being finally done. And Kevin Feige, he said he loved the show, and of course he's going to say that, because why wouldn't he?
I thought it was dog shit.
Yeah, don't watch it at all. In fact, cancel your Hulu subscription. No, obviously, we can't really trust what he's going to say to recommend the show. But yeah, I was curious. I Brian, I know, was one of those people that had no idea the show was coming out. So like, I'm kind of curious, what did you guys all think of this show? And like, do you want to clarify how much of it you watched, or if any of you want to give like your kind of fun breakdown of what's your elevator pitch of what this show is, so that people watching who haven't seen it know.
That was like 16 questions in one. Pick one question that you like.
And I want the elevator pitch first, and then I want to know what you guys thought of the show.
All right, Brian, you want to go?
I would say M.O.D.O.K meets Robot Chicken.
There you go.
Yep. I mean, that's it.
That's
the pitch.
Yeah, that's it. We're done here.
And I was watching. I was like, okay, this feels like a lot like Robot Chicken. And then I saw Seth Green was involved as well, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, it's Marvel making fun of Marvel, and
I think. Oh yeah, sorry. Continue.
No, it's Marvel making fun of Marvel, and it's. I liked it, but I don't know if I loved it. Right? I think that's where we're going with this.
Frank, I want to hear a better elevator pitch than these two have given.
Well, no, I thought they gave great elevator pitches. I'm ready to just go back to talk to Timothy Busfield or.
All right, can I take a shot at an elevator pitch?
Yes,
go for it.
Get us back that Disney money.
After spending years failing to gain control of the world and battling superheroes along the way, M.O.D.O.K, which stands for Mental Organism Designed Only for Killing,
pushing the open button to get out of the elevator,
having been removed from his company AIM. After it all falls to bankruptcy and is sold to the rivaling Grumble, begins to deal with his tainting family while facing a midlife crisis. that's for me like the summary of the show. And yes, the setting is very much a Robot Chicken style animation, but I would never just say it's just Robot Chicken meets Marvel, because like it actually is a serialized
There is a good
show.
story in there.
There,
for sure.
I mean,
there is a full arc that occurs on that show.
To be fair, I watched only a couple of episodes. I watched 3 episodes, and so I didn't get to watch the whole season. So
right, but in the 3, you start seeing they're building.
Yes,
like, yeah,
and that was one of the things I took away from watching it, was just how much they were starting to, really develop character, and I was really surprised by it. I had no idea. I mean, I kind of knew, because I know Patton Oswalt's a huge, nerd. And I knew, and I remember him saying a long time ago that he was like tabbed to do this. And so when it came out, I was like, oh yeah, when you were telling me about it, I was like, that makes sense. And so you kind of know, like, he's going to take care of it, at least in my just knowing Patton Oswalt stand up and how passionate he is, that like, you knew he would take care of making sure it was entertaining and just, nerding out. And I felt like I was going to be in fairly safe hands with him running it. I mean, that was just kind of my initial thoughts when I heard about it was going on, and then
there's like Dennis wasn't surprised by it. I kind of was. I mean, it's still, I mean, it's the first of its kind that we've seen in the Marvel world, but there's like a raunch to it that I think it's at the right level. It doesn't overextend. I don't think they get too dirty with it. But it just hits the right spots. No,
you think they ride dirty?
I think they don't. I don't think it was really much raunch at all. I think the fact that that show had a TVMA on it and blurred out every scene of nudity and bleeped out just about every swear word except shit. The only raunch was graphic violence, really.
Right.
Like that
penis.
No, I'm saying like I've seen actual episodes of Robot Chicken. I've seen Robot Chicken with actual swinging dong. You know what I mean? So like I thought this was a really tame attempt, especially for Stupid Buddy Studios, which, by the way, Stupid Buddy is actually the same company that did make Robot Chicken. So they were developed. Yeah. Well, no, it is Stupid
They were
Buddy.
stupid. They were Stupid Monkey. Yeah.
Since they've been Stupid Buddy for 10 years.
Yes.
It's only been 10 years, Ricky.
It's only been 10 years, Ricky.
Eventually, it'll make it to the news.
Yes.
That's not a long enough time to get over one word. So
yes. Oh, see, and then somebody joined in awkward timing. Hi, Jenny Angel. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jenny. Hey.
We're just arguing about corporations changing their names.
But also, yes. Patton Oswalt was Spider-Man, or he was Uncle Ben in the 2017 Spider-Man cartoon, the one that succeeded Ultimate. Yeah,
was he really?
It all goes back. It all goes back to Uncle Ben.
It's all Uncle Ben.
Well, no, Patton Oswalt is no stranger to Marvel, and actually even the MCU. He is officially in the MCU. He is part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
He plays
officially in the MCU.
That is actually still, if you go to their Marvel's designation of different Earths, that one still exists in the same universe as the MCU. So it's Earth 19999 or something like that. Yeah. It's the same universe. So Patton Oswalt is he plays Agent Koenig, which is an LMD. He's an official LMD in the universe. He just loves Marvel so much that I think of anything. If the show wasn't perfect in at making me super entertained through the whole thing, at a minimum, I got how much Patton Oswalt loved being.
For sure.
Show.
Totally.
How much he loved doing it. Yeah. Well, I mean, do you guys have any takeaways? Like what was something that really does anything? I mean, Ricky, you were saying stuff surprised you. What about Brian and Frank? Were you surprised by anything?
You want to go first, Frank? No, you weren't surprised.
No, guess go first.
Okay. So this is where I kind of nerd out more, the comedy element. So I was really interested in seeing the various comedy techniques and the use of what they were doing for comedic effect. So for example, juxtaposition. They used a ton of, and most comedies do, but it was just a way to see it done. And that's basically taking two elements that don't belong together and shoving them together, and that immediately creates comedy. So like at Grumble, the ping pong tables making this evil corporation, and now you're turning it into like this hip like Silicon Valley type of office vibe, and then going with Austin,
Austin Vandersleet.
Austin Vandersleet, yo, what up, you vape, bro? And all that, and having him go, in direct contrast to M.O.D.O.K, and just seeing those two come together and clash, like that's where generally comedy is. I also love their use of ambivalence in their comedy. So
I don't know that word. I got to look it up now.
Just not caring.
Thanks, Brian, for making me learn.
Sorry, I know. But it was like the like in the first one.
I'll put the more you know thing right there.
There you go.
Get it. Yeah.
And then just be like, don't look, who cares? Don't look it up. And that's exactly what ambivalence is.
That is ambivalence right there. Yeah.
So, but seeing that when, just the whole, when he blows off Gary's arm, and then he's
that was hilarious.
In the future episodes, and Gary's like, oh, my phantom arm, whatever. And he's just like, yeah, what? And just like totally not caring. So like that is like another technique. And that was really cool. And it was like seeing the kids when they made the bird fly into the lasers and blood splatters all over the kid, like all of that sort of stuff. Like to me, just it was really interesting to see the different sides of it. Obviously, there was the comedy writing, which I won't get too crazily deep into because I'll go on forever. It'll be 3 a.m. and I'm like, and then they did this, but just Patton's timing and his delivery, and you can see there's. I'll give away this little nugget for everybody. In comedy, there's a thing called the rule of 3, and it's usually fun, funnier, and funniest, and you'll hear it a lot in this. And it was I'm trying to remember the specific example, but it'll be like, we went to this place and then Waffle House or whatever it is. So it's it was just really interesting to me to just kind of see his spin comedically, because I'm a huge Patton Oswalt fan, his comedy. So it was interesting to see his spin and his influence on the comedic style of the show.
And C. Cow Soda has a follow-up question for you, Brian. What did you think of the comedic voice acting?
I liked it, but I mean, I'm used to Patton Oswalt, so I'm a big fan. So like, it just hearing him just kind of switch and then do his yelling. I was just like, to me, it was just Patton Oswalt. So I was kind of into it, and I thought it was fine. I had no issue. I thought it was pretty good. I thought most of the voice acting was actually pretty well done with everybody. So from the episodes I saw,
yeah. I thought the first 2 were a little rough because they really leaned a little too heavily on Patton, and they had a great supporting cast on this show. I don't know if you guys recognized a lot of the voice actors, but every episode after episode 2 starts leaning into them a lot more, and then they bring on other great guests like Bill Hader shows up, and Chris Parnell. There's a lot of really cool established comedic voice actors that show up after episode 2. And so like I did tell you guys yesterday, because they premiered 2 episodes on YouTube yesterday, just as like a special event with Patton and Jordan Bloom. And I let you guys know at the time I wasn't a big fan of the first 2 episodes, but it does get better, I would say. After, did you like the third one?
I did.
Yeah, I thought the third one was better. And in fairness, I don't mean to undersell the show. Like, I actually watched the whole season, then went back and rewatched episodes 1 and 2. And I loved episodes 1 and 2 way better the second time. This because I understood that I was watching a character-driven story arc happen. Whereas I thought I actually kind of was hoping for Robot Chicken meets Marvel. So I think that's where I was in my mind is Patton Oswalt's just going to do hilarious bits every episode, and they might be loosely connected or whatever. I didn't expect them to be as connected as they are, to where the stuff that is set up in episode 1 that was very, very setup heavy. There's a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, a lot going on there.
It does. Every single thing that's set up in episode 1 is paid off in episode 10.
Spoilers.
And well,
God,
that's
spoil-
not
now.
that's
Now I don't
not
have to
really
bother watching it now.
that's not
Thanks.
really spoilers, but that's just really saying like I didn't
Stick
think
with it,
I didn't think they were going to do that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't recognize like when I first heard him compare himself to, but when he said he stuck the landing like Simone Biles,
Yeah.
I didn't recognize that he was planting a seed to let you know that M.O.D.O.K has a secret passion for U.S. women's gymnastics and that he will frequently reference them throughout the season. That's a spoiler, by the way.
Wow.
And so, it's little things, little
There's
character
a lot of little
things
nuggets like that for sure. Like,
yeah, they never explicitly say it. I just finally realized that after watching 10 episodes back to back. I'm like, holy crap, he references U.S. women's gymnastics a lot. I was like, oh, that's a quirk, I guess he decided to give M.O.D.O.K, and that's funny and weird. And he probably does it at least 3 times, like you said, with the rule of 3. So
yeah, but it's nice to know that like that does get paid off. That your investment and you're watching it does come through, and they tie that up, and it does pay off. So
yeah, I loved it only after I finished it and then rewatched it again, and I was like, okay, I at this from the wrong point of view. You know what I mean?
It's kind of similar effect of Disenchantment. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've tried, and I've been tempted to go back and try again.
With Dean and yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so it's like as you go through the season and you go through them and then you go back and the beginning is a lot. Again, you kind of go, oh, it's so much more enjoyable the second time because at the beginning you just kind of go, what is all? So similar to M.O.D.O.K, where it was like, okay, like you said, there's a lot of heavy lifting and you kind of go, what is this all going to be? But you can start to see the shape of where it goes. And then you start to really like the characters and everything starts to develop. And then you can see, going back and watching the beginning going, oh, okay, that's kind of where they were headed. And
even in the second episode of this show, it slows down a bit, right? Like the first one, it's like, here's every character that matters to the story.
Yeah, well, he's M.O.D.O.K's the joke of the first episode. Like, I guess in a sense. And the other ones let him breathe things a bit. Yeah. He's not always on dial 11.
Yeah, and the second one's just this fun adventure that he goes on with his wife, right? Like, and or his soon to be ex-wife or whatever, like.
Whoa, God! Is it even worth watching the rest of it?
That was the first episode, man. That was the first episode.
Worth watching the first episode? Is it even worth watching the trailer now?
By the way, I guess I usually do remember to do this, but spoiler warning. We may talk about things in the show that ruin things, but we're trying really hard to at least only stick to the first 2 episodes because that's the furthest that people on our panel got, or some of us. And so if you want us to talk more about it, we can do that more in Soapbox if we can get into more, other content that happens in the show. But yeah, in the first episode, as I did say, he's going through a midlife crisis and his family's falling apart. That is the setup for the show. But yeah.
I love
God, is it even worth reading the back of the DVD where it gives the synopsis? Holy sh! Ian's got a good question.
I'm looking at Ian's question. What other not so bankable Marvel characters would you like to see get the same treatment?
Oh, Big Wheel, baby.
Well, I mean, that's funny. Wow. It's funny you should ask because just so you know, a fun fact about the show is actually this was originally meant to be part of its own animated connected universe that they were going to do a bunch of shows on Hulu. This is back before Marvel folded Marvel Television into itself, and they basically canceled a bunch of stuff. So there was actually going to be shows ordered for Howard the Duck, Tigra and Dazzler, and The Offenders, with M.O.D.O.K and Hit Monkey as well.
And Frank.
Yep.
Yes, and Frank. Yeah.
Just saying offensive shit all day.
So yeah, The Offenders was going to be like some group thing, kind of like how the Netflix did the Duffenders, where all of these different characters came together to form the Offenders.
Oh wait, Ian said not so bankable. So definitely the Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk would be fantastic. Yeah.
Another fun one. I don't want to spoil this, but like
he does want to spoil it.
No, there's a lot of.
He's lying. Save us.
I've never seen you be so. Usually, Frank, you're like spoil everything. It's fine. Don't like. I don't you're putting up like some false pretense that you actually don't enjoy.
I mean, there's a lot of D-listers that pop
That's
up in
'cause
the
I'm
show.
part
Well,
of the
that's
offenders.
what I was trying to say. Is there's a lot of D-listers that show up, and some of them were kind of surprising because like I found out like because I watched that special live stream yesterday with Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom. They had fun listing off that Marvel gave them access to everything, but for some reason there was only 3 characters that they were explicitly told they could not use. Is it a spoiler if they're not in the show, Frank? Would you like me to tell you those 3? Have I piqued your interest? Do you want to know which 3?
Can you just write them down and put them on a card and slide it over?
Marvel only said these 3 characters you cannot use for this show.
He said, "Do not open."
Get a little
Frank
note.
Do not open.
I only want to say if Frank wants me.
This is a Pantera's box that I kind of want.
A Pantera's box. All right, I want to say them because I think only Frank's going to know who they are.
All right, Gold Balls, Big Wheel, and Stiltman, baby.
No, you got 1 out of 3 right. You actually got 1 out of 3 right.
Nice.
Turner D Century.
Oh my god, I don't know that one.
Paste Pot Pete.
Yeah, Paste Pot Pete, Condiment King.
And
I just made that up.
And Stiltman.
Okay.
Those were the only 3 that for some reason they wouldn't say why, but
That's
they were
weird.
not allowed to use them. They speculated that it might have been that like they might be tied up in Daredevil, and at the time of development, the ownership hadn't lapsed yet, so they might have still been possibly avenue that
Wasn't
Netflix
like a Stiltman cameo in the first season of Daredevil, kind of.
No. Technically, Turk is
Charlie
a character.
Cox?
Turk is a character that ended up wearing the Stiltman suit briefly in the comics. He's not the Stiltman. But Turk is a character that's in all of the Netflix shows. But again, who knows?
So why did they call him Paste Pot Pete if he's the Trapster? Like I know they call him both in the comics, but like
have you ever?
Why wouldn't they go by Trapster?
Have you ever seen that what is it, the super deformed like children's cartoon with them? It's called Marvel Superheroes, I think, right?
I don't know.
It was a kids show, like it was a kids show for like 4-year-olds and stuff like that. And the main villain in that show was M.O.D.O.K, and he had a crew of like super deformed little kitty villains. And Paste Pot Pete was in that one too.
That's funny.
That's
Paste Pot Pete.
Yeah, as Paste Pot Pete. That's what they called him.
I'm not familiar. It sounds like they just made that from Mad Lib.
Those are some really deep cuts, bro.
They
Like,
did.
so, like,
I did a line.
So
we got to create 3 new characters by 4 o'clock.
Exactly.
I know that was quite a tangent, and I just wanted to share that with Frank because
that's hilarious.
Because at the same time, as ridiculous as those characters are, it's cool to know how much creative freedom Marvel gave them to play with. You know, and like so. First episode, John Hamm as Iron Man. John Hamm as Iron Man shows up, right? Yeah. And he's amazing. He's hilarious.
He's great in everything.
Yeah, but I love the level of attention that he's willing to afford to M.O.D.O.K, right? He will not give M.O.D.O.K his full attention because M.O.D.O.K is not deserving of his full attention. So he will watch the Great British Bake Off while defeating M.O.D.O.K.
Right.
And it's super funny.
That's why I'm listening to Earth, Wind, and Ozzy's. It's the same exact thing. I totally understand.
But at that specific scene, like just the and then he counters Iron Man with a spoiler as he's getting defeated.
Please don't spoil Great British Bake Off for
I don't
want that. I don't want that kind of wrath. We
we will definitely leave that up. But I mean, just the fact that they took these modern things now, because usually in those sort of worlds they don't have the really the minuscule, or not minuscule is not the right word, but the specific. Good thing I don't use words for a living.
Yeah, you gave me ambivalence, so
I did give you ambivalence, and that's how I feel about this comment right now. Whatever, it's over. But no, the fact that they use these little details into real life now and social life and social media and like all that sort of stuff, and just kind of the world. They've taken modern world and kind of blended it in with, that world. And I think that adds a nice element to it.
One of the things I really liked was like the character Austin, right? That's his name, the Gaggle
Austin
owner, Google
Vandersleet
Grumble.
Bennett, right?
Okay, that guy's a lefty. I was like, oh hell yeah, he's a lefty, baby. We're back. We're being represented. Perfect.
I love the kids. The daughter is hilarious because she's like
Melissa?
high school evil Melissa, and she's obviously taking traits from her dad, and she has her appearance.
Is she?
As well.
Is it obvious? I don't know how obvious it is.
Her womb wrecking skull.
The second episode, they make a reference to M.O.D.O.K's wife's extremely wide hips.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was because of Melissa or you know what I mean? Melissa, like when I was watching that with my wife, she's like, how did she give birth to that? You know, like Melissa looked like she's quite the wrecker for sure.
Yeah.
The home wrecker.
But then like Lou is just so optimistic about everything.
Ben Schwartz and Melissa Fumero played those characters. Do you recognize either of them?
I know
Ben
Sonic.
Schwartz. Ben Schwartz was Sonic
in
Sonic the Hedgehog, and also he's John Ralphio in Parks and Recreations. He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They actually wrote that role knowing that it was going to be Ben Schwartz playing it. But then for Melissa Fumero is Amy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's hilarious actress on that show with Andy Samberg. But I really love both of those characters. They have pretty fun arcs. Without spoiling, I will let you know.
They each have their own episodes, which are great.
Great. Now I'm going to be expecting an arc the entire time I'm watching it.
Yeah,
the show's just ruined now.
Well, I was looking at the the voice actors and the people in the show, and they got a lot of comedians. So I was very happy about that because that timing is especially if you're going to hang with someone like Patton, you need to have those sort of people. So
I'm always saying that. Sorry,
that's okay.
But I'm always saying that they should hire comedians to play voice actors because they always do like a really good job because of the timing.
You need that balance to be able to have emotion and be able to carry a line, but you also definitely need that timing that you get. One of my favorite characters though was Super Adaptoid. Was like so
played by John Daly.
Funny. So funny. That character was just so amazing because they could do anything with him and just great in the first few episodes anyway.
They can do anything with him, and yet they make him a ladder.
Yes.
But you have a hover chair.
you can literally fly. It's just so good. And then, the third eye blind thing coming in, you have this really, which is in the trailer, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling it, but this really
semi-charm kind of life.
Yeah, and the character that the personality they gave him, just this kind of like,
he's a useless
sensitive
tool, or is what he is for M.O.D.O.K, right? Like he's sentient clearly, but so because of that he believes he has value, but to M.O.D.O.K and the family he's literally just the toaster or the smoothie machine or the ladder or whatever. It's a pretty great thing.
He's horrified.
Frank, he has an arc.
Oh, great. Now I'm going to be expecting an arc, and that's going to be
the Third Eye
horrible.
Blind episode. That was episode 2, right?
Yes,
that's episode 2. Yes,
that was set in 2009. Correct. That's what that's the year they go back.
I think they said that. Yes. Yeah.
Was Third Eye Blind a thing? I was alive then, and
Third Eye Blind had already been a thing.
Third Eye Blind was a thing in the 90s, 1997.
So that's what I figured.
Yeah, but I
mean, are you spoiling their album from 1997?
They can still do tours for another 10 years. It's okay.
Yeah, they're still probably big in Reno. Like, I think All Star by Smash Mouth was like the Reno national anthem. Like,
that was '99.
So. Reno is a nation.
Yeah, the nation of Reno.
I'm about to say that tracks. All of that tracks.
Every time I've ever heard All Star, like I see people in Reno, they just kind of stop what they're doing and they put their, put your hand on your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they turn their visors the other way.
That's right. Yes. And they stop vaping for 5 seconds.
I have another question for you guys. We'll go with Brian first, but I actually just want to know, based on what you saw of the show, what questions popped in your head, as you were watching it? Because I know they throw a lot of content on there, and I know there had to be stuff that you weren't sure about, and so this is a chance for us to answer that or say, yeah, we were stumped too.
Yeah, I kind of just watched it. I kind of sat back and just kind of let it hit me, just to kind of see where it went, because again, I'm not super familiar with his backstory. So I guess that's the biggest question for the people who may not be as familiar, is what the actual backstory of M.O.D.O.K is. But I was just mostly sitting back and just kind of letting it happen.
Yeah, they kind of glossed over it. George Tarleton was a super genius that thought he could be a super genius by doing some genetic modifications to himself and making himself into this giant head. I don't believe he actually was a giant-headed freak when he was first born, though. Is that right, Frank? Like, I don't think he was
a normal human.
Yeah, he was normal. So that was just their interpretation in the show, that, taking liberties with it. But I do know that several episodes at the end, they plug a new comic called M.O.D.O.K Head Games, written by Jordan Bloom and Patton Oswalt. So Marvel gave them the chance to officially make a lot of the content that's in the show canon in the Marvel universe. Awesome. In a kind of way. Like, so M.O.D.O.K's family, apparently in the comics, they're all super adaptoids, just with the names Melissa and Lou, and so there's some little tweaks here and there, but yeah, they wanted to try and do stuff. But yeah, I was more curious, like, if you noticed, like, I mean, you had to know that they were shoving tons of Easter eggs in your face all the time, and if there was some that you didn't get, or because they go super obscure, man.
Well, that's what I figured with Patton. So it was pretty rapid fire. I mean, there's the whole thing of like Iron Man's boot, and it smells like potpourri, and like, okay, is that just
the fall?
Yeah, does he change it during the seasons, or like
Frank, where did the Fing Fang Farm register on your laughing meter?
That cracked me up, actually. Like, there was only maybe 2 or 3 times where I laughed out loud. Most of the time I was just laughing in my head movies. And Fing Fang Farm was one of them. I can't remember the second time I laughed.
I think it was Fing Fang Farm to Table, right? Is what it was.
Yeah. And then he like, the dragon comes out and serves them. Yeah, that cracked me up.
Or Lila Cheney's little area that they went for the after party. Like the Lila Cheney, like the little asteroid. Because Austin took him on a dinner. A business dinner.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so they went to 3 places. They went to the Fing Fang Farm. Then they went to Lila Cheney's little asteroid.
That's right.
And then after that, they went back to the Grumble headquarters, right? I think that's how it went.
Yeah, where he has the Monster energy drinks in all the drawers.
Lila Cheney's a deep cut, like, New Mutants character that, like, teleports intergalactically. Like, so she can't teleport any closer than all the way out to the other side of space, and then back and stuff. So she's a musician, like, that used to tour with Dazzler. Apparently,
actually, I don't know that one.
Yeah, so
that's funny.
Yeah, they went deep, man. Like, I don't know, like, this is a mild spoiler, but like, I don't think you'll even understand the spoiler. But like, at one point in the show, they reference brute force. If you know what brute force is, you know how deep of a cut that is. Like,
I know because of that show.
Because it's Marvel 616, right? Yeah. Did you catch the brute force reference
in 616?
Yes, they do. There's an entire episode about it. But yeah, it's they go super obscure because that's how deep Patton Oswalt's knowledge of the show is. So
I figure that's probably the thing of that series, is the more you watch it, the more you'll catch.
Yeah, I had to pause a lot because I was just like, who am I looking at right now? Oh my God, is that really?
They show brute force, the little dolphin and all that shit.
Spoiler.
Look what you made me do, Jen. Wow. You made me do this.
Frank, you of all people.
There's a lot of things.
There's not even a point of watching this anymore.
Most Easter eggs in that show, are shown to you and not told to you. Yeah. Like, you have to be looking around.
I had to look up everyone in there's like a D list.
Yeah, we didn't get to that, but the bar with no name is in the show.
everyone in the bar
cool.
with no name.
And-
I had to look
and-
up,
man.
And that's what I've been trying to carefully not
That's cool.
not-
Now I never have to
but
watch it. Thanks, guys.
but the
You
bar
guys
with,
saved me so much time.
the bar with no name goes deep
Oh
cuts
man.
to the
So-
point where I almost was like, that can't be a Marvel character.
Wow.
Oh my god, it is. It's a
Like
Marvel
White
character.
Rabbit and all that stuff.
No, further, way
Further
further,
than that? Wow.
way further.
back of the cereal box. Deep
I think
cuts.
that was episode 4.
Like the
I think
Serpent
they did it.
Society
Yeah.
kind of
Deeper.
deeper. Wow.
Yes.
Holy crap.
It's so deep. I mean, I told you Turner D. Century was one of the only people not on the table here.
That's the only one I don't know from
Go
that.
look him up then. He's ridiculous.
He was married to Tina, Ike
Yes.
and Tina Turner
Yes.
D-Century.
Tina.
Man, that's like our second Ike Turner joke on this show.
Oh wow,
That's pretty impressive. That's cool.
Turner D. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
from
haven't-
a guest too. Oh my god, you're
Yeah,
right.
from a guest. too. Yeah, exactly.
what we do is, you guys don't know this, but we all contact the other guests and we pass the Ike Turner.
Oh, nice. I wish you guys would all watch the show at the same time then too.
Holy smokes. He looks like Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. Yeah,
Yes.
he's got that little hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the one that was riding the carousel, Dick Van Dyke.
I do have
First appearance, Spider-Woman 33, 1980. Holy
they go deep, dude. They go really deep.
that is random.
I have another question for you guys. It's still on topic. It's related to the second episode of the season. Because we're not going to go further than that, other than saying the bar with no name does show up and Brute Force does too. Those are the 2 spoilers we'll give you, and everybody has an arc. And I do think Frank's still going to watch the show. I thought it was cool. I had fun. I definitely did do other things like while I was watching it, because it's kind of short attention span theater where they throw too much at me, like where I needed to muffle it with like opening my mail at the same time, because it was too much sometimes. And then sometimes I would seriously pause it because I'm like, what did I just hear? What did I just see? So I do recommend the show, but I do have to know, second episode is a time travel episode where M.O.D.O.K decides to do one last awesome memory with his wife, where they go back to a concert that they didn't get to go see when they were younger. And my question to you guys is, if you could only time travel to do something for yourself, when and what would it be? Brian goes first.
I have to go first.
It's your kids, Brian. Something's got to be done about your kids.
Just watched that last week, actually.
Nice, nice.
I mean, you have that's on a regular schedule.
You
anyway.
finally watched your kids? That's perfect.
Yes,
That's good.
absolutely.
Finally found out he's got them.
My God, they found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Doc, I would probably go back to when I was 16 and just scare the living daylights out of myself and just grab myself, shake myself. You see what you've done to me? Do you see what I've become? That's probably what I would do. I don't know that I would go to I guess there's probably a different event or so. I'd be like, and there's going to be one night in the future where you have a chance and you better say yes. Just something just scare the daylights out of myself and beat the hell out of myself. And I think that, to me, saying it out loud sounds really psychotic, but it's really funny in my brain. Just that visual of going back and finding who I was and just being like, look at me.
So you wouldn't do a boy murder, is what you're saying?
I would not do a boy murder.
Okay.
I would not.
Frank, what about you?
I have an answer, but I'm not going to talk about it on this show. I'm going to talk about it on the soapbox.
Ooh,
okay. Man.
So it is a boy murder.
It's a boy murder. Ricky, what is yours?
I mean, the smart answer would say invest in Bitcoin, right?
That's where I was, man. I was just like, you know what? I'm too terrified to ruin anything in my life. So I would go back only a few months ago and just dump a bunch into Dogecoin. That's what I would have done. That's it. That's it. Just like January, I'd still do the podcast, do everything the same, but just have a little bit more money to play with.
Maybe
now that you say that, I have an answer.
Yeah, go to Prince's house before he passed and be like, "Hey, you should maybe take a nap or something. Don't
do so many drugs there.
Yeah, just do one less drug today." Yeah.
What was your new answer, Brian?
I would go back with like some of the early Dane Cook CDs as a comedian and just
And
be
burn
like,
them.
Start do comedy now. No, dude, he blew. A lot of people really just trashed Dane Cook.
His early stuff's really good.
His early stuff was really good. Well,
day.
have I told you this story because we used to work together. I went.
Dane Cook did.
I went to high school. I went to high school with Dane Cook.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so what I would do is I would go back, I would take those CDs, I would be like, go start doing comedy. This is the material you do. You're going to become really famous. You're going to blow up and make a lot of money, and then you can retire. Or I guess I could have done that. Pick any comedian, really. But Louis C.K., just don't do what he did. But, that sort of stuff. But, yeah, I did. I went to high school with Dane Cook.
Definitely Kramer.
Kramer. No, you can. You can only do something for yourself. That was.
You can do a good Patrice O'Neill.
I love Patrice.
I think you could tell all his jokes, right?
Yes. I actually worked with Patrice quite a bit, actually. Especially, it was right before he got
hilarious.
Really, really famous. But he was headlining Boston. He was in New York and headlining Grown Up. Sorry, I don't want to switch this into a comedy. We can talk about this in the post show.
Yeah, we got to have stuff for the later one. I just wanted to end that on a slightly lighter note, and I did want our audience to know that we're not ignoring you fully. C. Cal Soda, we totally saw that you recommended 3 different characters that should get the same treatment as M.O.D.O.K. Squirrel Girl is one of them. Beta Ray Bill is another. And the Cuckoos as some sort of Corn-esque horror show. I think you meant like Children of the Corn is what I'm
saying. There is a Squirrel Girl pilot that is shot and filmed and sitting in Hulu's hard drive.
It's been sitting somewhere for a while. Yeah, so we'll see. I have faith that all 3 of those will end up being reality one day. So I wouldn't worry about that.
I'd love to see Better Ray Bill, to be honest.
I wouldn't even say that Squirrel Girl is not so bankable anymore. She's pretty bankable nowadays. Like she's up there.
They're peppering in. She's getting up there.
She's like with Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. She hangs out with Deadpool pretty often, so it's not a stretch to believe she's coming soon. But yeah, we do have to wrap it up on this main show. I thank everybody who decided to show up to watch us, and hopefully we didn't ruin M.O.D.O.K for you, even though Frank is pretty sure we did.
Everybody gets an arc.
That's right.
Everybody gets an arc. I wouldn't say they're all great arcs, but everybody
you get a Joan of Arc. You get an arc.
Everybody
of the Covenant.
Everybody gets an arc. Cool. But thank you to everybody who tuned in. I want to give Brian, our special guest, an extra thanks for showing up to chat with us, and he's going to chat with us more on our next show right after this, which is going to be on patreon.com/DenExcelsior. We're going to be on the soapbox. But yes, Brian, where can people find you when this is over?
People can find me. Well, thank you to the people who came in: Jenny Angel, Kelly Monster, Seacow, everybody that's been in here. Dr. Jones, thank you guys for being here. You can find me on social media at Comedy Brian. You can find me patreon.com/Comedy Brian. You can check out my Dry Bar comedy special. I'm sorry, I see you switching them on me. So youtube.com/Comedy Brian and my Dry Bar comedy special, which is a lot longer for me to say and for you to type out.
But
so
it's written down there. Comedy.
Yep.
And guess what, Brian? Both of them are in the description below right now on our video as it's streaming.
Yeah.
So people can just go click on that and they don't have to write all this down.
If you would like to see his Dry Bar comedy special perform live, then tune into our Patreon stream.
Where he's going to perform it live for all of us.
Again, you're selling stuff we can't promise. If you want to see his Dry Bar comedy special live, I highly recommend you get a time machine.
Exactly. Do that for yourself. That is your answer. You want to do that for yourself.
Marty.
The kids.
It's not Third Eye Blind. It's the Brian Apprille Dry Bar comedy stick.
But thank you all for tuning in. Obviously, you can find us here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you're listening to our podcast.
January 11th.
Wait, sorry, you cut out on that one.
Is it January 11th?
That's where you can. No, you can find us right now.
Oh wow, that was quite a delay.
Yeah, you got delayed.
I said that before you started. Okay.
Oh, I don't even know what you said.
Like
then.
He knew.
Yeah.
I was done saying it. Good. Don't mix it up.
But yes, Den X Media. You can find us on all those places and Twitter and TikTok, and we're just always putting out different content, different fun stuff. If you didn't have the time to watch this whole show, we'll put out a nice little highlight reel on Wednesday for you to check out. It's called an excerpt. So yeah, check out the show.
Yep.
And thank you to everybody once more.
Smash that like button, subscribe, check us out on OnlyFans.
No promises on there.
Yeah.
Frank, we gotta have an HR meeting with you later.
Oh no, not again.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time, true believers. Enough said.
See ya.